Good morning, guys. Well, good afternoon where you are, and welcome back to another episode 15 of It's a Man's World podcast with my guest today, Ben Hawksworth. And we have known each other the last couple of years, but over the last year or so, we've kind of got to know each other a little bit deeper, and we both met each other at a TMP event, which is Total Mental Performance, for anyone that doesn't know that. And we kind of just clicked, and I liked your vibe, you got on with my vibe. We kind of connected at the event, and we both come from not similar paths, but in and around the same. And I think today's story and your background and where you are at the minute in your life, even though you're thinking you're going through a midlife crisis,
Yeah.
no, I'm going to go into that as well. I just think that this episode is going to be so inspiring, because for me, I look up to you and your team and everything that you do at the highest standard in the fitness industry, as an expert, as a successful entrepreneur. And I hope that anyone that's here, go onto their page, go onto the Instagram, have a little look at what they do. But for today, zone in, take some notes, but let you introduce yourself, of where it all started, where you're from, and the 6 and 7 figure businesses that you've built as well.
Yeah, she's only calling, telling you to look at my social profile because I'll take it piss out myself the other day, and she wants to get me a few new followers. So, yeah, my name's Ben Hawksworth. Where do you want to start? Start from like the professional journey, or where you wanting to go from?
No, let's start from the personal journey. Like, where did this? Because professional, you've hit the milestones of the professional journey, but where did this all stem from? And because I know people will relate, and anyone that might feel a little bit stuck, how did this all come about?
Yeah, so as a starting point, I was just a normal kid off a council estate, basically. I always call myself the council house consultant, so that's kind of different to what is out there in kind of the mentoring and business consultancy sector, but that is my past, and that's kind of where I come from. As a kind of child coming through, a little bit of a decorated past, to say the least. Coming into my early teens, that kind of got a little bit more severely worse. I then had some kind of life-changing experiences with suicides in my family and a lot of other kind of stuff. What's not the nicest stuff to talk about on a podcast. But basically, in essence, that kind of put me in a bit of a bad turmoil, in all fairness. Went down a bit of a rocky path, to say the least. But then I went to Uganda when I was 16, which is very, very random, I know. But I was in Uganda at 16 in the middle of Africa, thinking, fucking hell, what am I actually going to do in my life? But that was an absolutely life-changing experience, because I saw people who've been through a hell of a lot worse than what I'd had, and felt a lot worse than I had, and I've just basically kind of come back with a completely different perspective. So around 16 years old, it was when I kind of switched on, and I was like, shit, I'm gonna make something of myself. I said, I don't care what it's gonna take. I knew I was starting at the bottom of the mountain, but I was willing to kind of walk up it. From that point, I then God, I was doing 60 hours a week pot washing jobs while going to the last final year of kind of college to get my A level and B Tech, to just get into university. I then scraped through university. So despite people thinking that I always get called the wizard from like some of my clients, I am not an intelligent person in any way, shape or form when it comes to like the normal standard educational structure. Later on, realizing, well, last year that I've got ADHD and ASD. Would have been really nice to know about that, in all fairness, in my early teens. It would have explained quite a lot, but it's great that I've finally got the answer to it now. From that point, went to university. I played like rugby league. I was a bit of a lad's lad. I was fighting a lot. Twice a week, I was fighting for the sake of fighting. And the reason for that is potentially due to the past trauma, and also kind of how much anger management I was kind of experiencing at that point. Then basically in the final year of university, I started my first business, which completely fucking failed. Not a good idea starting a business at the same time as doing a dissertation, guys. Turns out you don't give it that much attention, but I learned from it. I then went into personal training off the back of that, and that was basically where the self-discovery started for me. At 21, I basically realized that I had pushed absolutely every single person away. I pushed my friends away, pushed my family away. I'm pushing relationships away. I basically would not allow myself to become close to anything or anyone, which is really weird now because my two best mates are now my sales manager and COO of my business. But I put a post up on my close friends the other day going, something about ADHD where someone forgets about something for 5 minutes, whereas mine were like 5 years. I just kind of fucked off and didn't really speak to anyone for ages. And everyone was like, is he falling out with us all or what? But I just kind of went into my own world. And then basically it was just from like 2021 where I kind of really set the goal of going, right, look, I know who I want to be and I know what I want to do, but I am seriously on the fucking back foot here. And then basically kind of went into self-discovery that started with counseling. Horrific, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think there's anything worse than re-talking about a load of shit with no actionable plan. Gave up on trying to help myself, and then I basically went into like I found I always kind of call it my superpower, my ability to basically work and then not stop. Basically, I'm fucking weird like that. That's the only way I could describe it. I can just go and just not stop for days and for weeks and for months. And that's basically when I started really driving into the PT side. But I was fucking hell, 21, 22, 23, doing 15, 20 grand a month. But then I was getting absolutely blasted off my tits every single weekend, blowing it all on Vegas, Ibiza, Hideout Festival. Like, Jesus Christ, I've enjoyed a party in my early 20s and I don't regret a single thing about it. That's one thing I'm going to say. I loved every second of it until afterwards. And then basically from that point, moved to 2 different cities, rebuilt 2 different PT businesses, and then just kind of kept leveraging up. Eventually moved into CP education, which was level 2, level 3, and an academy. Built that up to it were over 1,000 students we worked through by the end of that. And then from 25, 26 onwards, kind of started evolving into the coach consultant now, which is fucking just nuts, in all fairness, how much that's kind of grown. But I think it's just an accumulation of all the failures before, in all fairness. So that's like an agency, which is kind of working with like the real top level high performance multi-6 figure, 7 and multi-7 figure businesses. But then I have the Propel program underneath, and then I'm just about to launch the final piece to my pie, which is the Propel project in August, which I'm really happy about. But other than that, the biggest wins is I had a baby 4 months ago, which was one of the final things on Ben's blueprint, which is the scars I said about me on my what's it called, my midlife crisis. I feel like I've ticked every single box as it stands at the moment, and I think that in the last 4 months since having a baby, it changed my perspective on life, on what I was doing. And then that's kind of where I'm at now, where we've got multi-7 figure business owner. I'm the least financially invested person you ever met. Not really that type of person in any way, shape or form. I love the job and I love the process, and that's where I'm at now, basically. Husband, father, business owner. I've done it, basically, and then that's the question of like what does 30 to 40 look like?
So that's the thing that I want to sum up. So I'm sure anyone listening right now, you're saying, oh my God, all of those things, but it didn't just happen overnight. It didn't just arrive at his doorstep. Like, all these failures and setbacks have led you to where you are right now. But it sounds like there's a piece of your puzzle that's missing. You sound like you're a little bit kind of confused as to how do I have everything, as in this is like the deep stuff that most people are like, no, let's move swiftly on, let's not talk about it. But how come you have everything? You've got the money, you're financially secure, you've hit milestones that you never thought was possible, you've got your family. Like, what is it that you feel like is missing? Because from myself being at that event that weekend, Awaken, that I went to, that I was literally just talking to you about before we got on for the call, like, sometimes that piece is you. And you've done the TMP work, but like, that's a self-discovery that has to keep happening. Why do you feel like, do you think it's the number 30 that's kind of throwing you off, or do you think it's something else that you just can't put your finger on?
It's finishing the list. One of my best mates, Morgan, many years ago, and we were actually at a party and we were all chatting about life, and it was a good conversation. And they basically said, you've never got to worry about Ben when he's sprinting on a treadmill, and if he's going uphill, you've got to worry when treadmill stops. And I've always related to that quote since that day, because I was like, I didn't see that in myself, but he's my best friend, and he kind of saw that. He said, you're the scariest, the only time that I'm scared with you is when you get to the end and you've achieved what you were going to achieve. For me, I'm very process driven. I love the mission. I'm the type of like walking up a mountain is a fun part, getting to the top on board after that. And that's potentially like the potentially the ADHD, the ASD, or I always kind of root it back to the place of going, look, I want to get as far away from the person and place I've been in before. That's always kind of something that I'm always working towards. And it's almost like how far do you need to get away from that place until you actually register what you've achieved? And I spoke to Stacey about this and my mates recently, and I was just like, I think it's just something that I need. I need the mission. Whereas I think that when I've got to a point now and I've ticked off so many boxes on the list that I'm almost like, well, what am I? I don't want to be the guy who's just known for having a lot of money or helping other people earn a lot of money. Like, I'm not a flash fucker. I don't really care about that type of stuff. And with the family, it's like, I know that I always wanted to be a good dad. I want to be a good husband, good friend. I know I've done that. And I think for me, it's like when I looked at 30 to 40, I was like, well, what is that? Is that a 9 to 5 dad? Is that a guy who just goes to work, comes home, does the kids shift, goes to bed, has a few beers on a Friday, has a few beers on a Saturday? And that's the hardest thing, is because the majority of guys who know me fucking love to be in my shoes. They do out for it. But because of what it's taken me to get to this point, I look back and I think I don't value where I'm at and value the work what's kind of got me here. And the same as like with my family, and I said this to Stacey, because I said to her today, I said, Stacey, I don't want that family who goes to fucking Tenerife. Like, I basically said to her, I said, I'm not going to be a 9 to, because I had a sit down call. It was this week, literally, and I said, I'm not going to be funny. I'm not being a 9 to 5 dad. I'm not drinking beers on a Friday and Saturday. I'm not going to go on family holidays to Tenerife. Like, I want to be taking us on fucking safaris. I want to go and travel Asia together. I want to have like Remy on my shoulders walking through fucking Zimbabwe. I said, oh, that's the type of shit that I want for us. And I feel like I'm kind of falling into a routine of just doing the same thing over and over again, and that's just not who I am. I need something to aim at. So I'm actually in the process at the moment. I'm just writing myself a letter, because I did that in my early 20s. I was like, it was almost like it started with actually I've got it on here. I've got it on my notes. Where is it? The first question is why am I so tired? That's it's like why am I actually
like?
yeah, it's like, why am I fucked? Why am I that good? And it's a massive list of everything that we just spoke about. I said, right, well, that explains that. Because that's sort of some things that I get it every single week. I had a call with Chris Bradley, who's technically a competitor to me in it, but I think he's a great guy. And he was like, I fucking can't believe you're on the 29th.
Yeah.
And I get it every single week, but I'm like, it's all right saying that, but I'm haggard. I'm beaten up, man. Like, it's not been easy to kind of get to this point. And then the second question was basically, why am I uninspired? And I kind of looked at everything. I was like, I'm inspired by my clients. I'm inspired by my business. I'm inspired by my team. I'm inspired by, but I'm not underneath it is that I'm not inspired by myself. And I think this is a good exercise for people to do, is sometimes you come in and you're like thinking something's not right, and then you just go through the motions expecting to get a different result. Whereas like one of the best exercises that I do is just go away, don't try and solve the fucking thing, literally write out a load of questions and then sit. And so I've had them on my notes there for 7 days now. I've not started writing anything yet, because I'm just going over it and going over it. And then I'm slowly kind of coming to the outcomes of like, I need to do some. I had a call with one of my clients, Jake, a minute ago, who I'm really close with. And he was just like, you're the type, he was like, the type of guy who's done the shit that other people can't do. And you need to do the same. And he was like, you need to fucking climb Everest, bro. And I said, do you know what? I'm actually thinking about that, but I don't know if Stacey would let me. I need to climb a few other mountains first before Everest. Yeah. But just proper extreme stuff. But yeah, I think that's it. It's like, because when I've spoke to people, I thought, like, yeah, but look at rate of progression of business. Like, it's like I said, guys, like, I'm going to launch this Propel project. That's going to be a multi-6-figure business in its own. I said, on top of everything else. I said, so at what point do you turn around and go, right, yeah, it's not going to slow down. This is what I said to her. And I said, when you're in this game and you're doing this and you've got momentum, as long as you're not an absolute stupid twat, it's not going to slow down. I said, but if I turn around and because this is something I said to Stacey, I said, if someone said to me, right, you've got an extra £100,000 a month, Ben, right, how would you feel? And I said, Stacey, I don't even have access to a fucking business account. I said, I don't. I genuinely don't. I said, I do not have access to my own business account because I don't want to know. Because I never want to look. I never want to look at one of my clients and think I have no idea. Like sometimes, like we adjust people's payments based on how long they've been with us. I have to ask my client how much to pay me because I ain't got a clue.
And why is
And
that you don't touch on the finances? Like, if that's something that's going to be able to bring you away on a holiday with your family in an exotic place, like, why don't you want to know that? Is it because you felt like you've never had that years ago, or is it the actual realization of fuck, like I actually am making all of that, or what do you think it is?
because I love the job and I love people. And I think that when you start bringing money into it, I think no matter how grounded you are as a person, the moment that you see money, you get an emotional internal reaction. I've done it before. I did this in my early 20s. I remember I started it in 30, 40 grand months and I was like, fucking hell. Like, and then I went through a few years after that where I started being quite motivated by money. And the thing for me is it's like, I know that we can do what we want to do. It's just a case of what is it that we're going to do? That is the question. What actually is it, and what am I going to do? So it's like a few like, and just where I've spent money before, like the stupid, not stupid shit, 'cause it was a great experience, but like renting a fucking 100-foot black yacht in Dubai, like it were great. Do you know what I mean? It was great, but afterwards, did I feel good for it? Did I feel better? No, it's just a fucking boat at the end of the day, innit? Do you know what I mean? You can get a dinghy and get a fucking few beers and go out on Dubai Harbour and still have a good time. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And as I kind of look back on that and I was like, where am I spending my time? Where am I spending my like value? Like, if I'm gonna do something, I want it to be an outcome that makes me feel better, rather than thinking, oh, I've got this now, so I need to behave like X, Y, and Z. And that's the post that I just put up on socials. Like, I don't want to leverage myself. I don't want to be the fucking bee's knees. I don't want to kind of come in and push a bullshit message. So like pretend I've got more clout than other people. I just want to stay myself and be that normal guy, what's relatable. But that's something that I struggle with because I feel like my content, and I know that you guys try and support me as much as you should. It's like I'm a charity when it comes to social media, honestly. Like anyone who's on my close friends, like, we'll help you, man, we'll help you. And I said, yeah, but I need to help myself first. But that's why I really struggle with social media, because I'm like, well, I'm this guy when it comes to business, but if you meet me in real life, I'm completely different. And I've got and I would go as far as saying I've got like a very good reputation, but I've also got one of the best like overall relationships with people like in this industry. I purposely go out on my way to try and never ever end a relationship in a bad way. Like, so that's a point I've made for years. Like, even if I've finished up with clients and it might not have gone like we wanted to, I always try and go out my way to make sure that there's that kind of nice peace, because that's the type of shit that eats up at me. Like, I see it all the time. Like, I see some mad shit where like people are clearly getting abused or clearly having the brand like tarnished, and they're not bothered.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I could not sleep at night if people thought that. I would like, and there'll be probably people who watch this podcast and think, well, he's a massive twat, him. And that's fine. Do you know what I mean? There's a few people who will, but I really try go out my way to be sound with everyone. I think that there's like one thing that I say within my company and with my teams is like there's no such thing as hierarchy. Like, if there's ever a point of someone thinking that they can leverage themselves based on their position on someone else, they're gone straight away, and that's including myself. And I keep my team accountable to that. Like, I've had it before where I've had to come back and gone, I shouldn't have spoke to that person like that.
Yeah. We all make mistakes. We all end up saying things that we don't want to, but you learn from that. And I think that's a very strong thing. Like, there's no separation. We're all one. And that's how teamwork works. And you can see from the outside and from like a perspective out here, like, yous work solidly as a team and no one is better than the other, you know?
Yeah, that's one thing that we do. Like, I would go as far as saying that I have the best team in the business sector in the fitness industry. And I'm not just been biased because I've had it from other people. I've had the feedback from other people. But the thing is, it's like our establishment potentially might be not be as big as what other people's are. But it's a conversation I had with a few people recently. Like when people ask me like what I do, even competitors, I'll tell them.
Yeah.
I sent a full breakdown of someone who was basically wanting to do a one-to-one agency and service, and I just sent him a full video of my full organizational structure, and he was like, "I can't believe like, do you know what I mean? Like, what?" And I was just like, "Yeah, but there's a massive difference between knowing what we do and then how we actually do it."
Yeah, and also
Because because it's like I've had to rebuild our shit, God, so many times,
yeah,
and that's what. It's the same as like when you get, and it's like when you get a returning client as well, like yeah, and they come back and they're like, wow, like this is different. And I think that's the shit that I love. Like I just love stuff getting better. I love people getting better. Like I know that obviously, like like if I look at this year alone, like we've tripled, quadrupled already multi-six-figure businesses. So like, and that's like life-changing shit. Like if you're doing 30, 40 grand a month and you're going up to 150, 200, like that's daft. Do you know what I mean? But when I look at it, I don't look at it in the sense of like, oh my God, that person's earning this much money. I look at it going, who can you hire to now have more freedom?
Yeah, and impact.
And what life can you actually create for yourself now? And that's kind of a culture that we've got the coach consultant. It's like I've had clients turn around to me and they go, I'm happy. Like I don't want all else for a bit. Sean Casey's just done it. He was like, Ben, I'm gonna be totally honest with you. She was like, I'm happy to pay you, bro, for the next 3 or 4 months, and I'm just do little because I just want to chill for a bit. You've done it, like and it's just, and I think that that's the thing that I want. It's like it's that light bulb moment of people seeing like, look, it's not just about how much lead gen and sales and stuff that you're getting. It's about the actual life that you're creating for yourself after that. Because people don't see that there's almost like a blinkers and blockers of going, and you need to earn this much money, or you need to do this, or you need to do that. Whereas my question is like, what do you actually want to do? What
Yeah.
are you willing to do? What aren't you willing to do? Because the moment that you start just doing shit that you don't want to do and what's not aligned to you for the sake of getting from A to B is the moment that you'll completely fall out with all of it.
And do you feel like people though at the start of like not a startup business, but people that are in the game a long time, and do you not feel like people have to take the position of different roles to get to a point to say, right, I need help now? Because I think people are, when they come online, especially any personal trainers that are coming from gym floor to here, or any business in general that's gone online, it's like I think people sometimes expect to be just like, well, I should have this person, this person, this person. Number one, they probably don't even want to hire someone because they don't trust, or they just say they'll do it themselves. But I think you do have to get to breaking point before you say, right, enough is enough. How am I actually going to make this work?
Yeah, I had a call with a client this morning who's a very, very, very big business, and I was just like, so as it stands right now, oh, that's it. I basically described it as I said, right now your business is tighter than a duck's arse, mate. And he was like, what do you mean? I said, because we're trying to run all this shit just through you. I can't do anything with that. I said, I can come up with all the ideas and all this stuff, but even though he's got operations managers, got all stuff on there. I said, and I just basically did a comparison. This is what we are doing. This is what we can do if we had this person in place full time. How much more growth are you going to see? How much more freedom are you going to see? And then, but straight away, the first thing that people think about is like, oh, well, I've got to pay that person 50, 60 grand. I was like, you would not believe what I like. And I'm actually doing a video on this soon, but basically how I run my whole business. And my whole business is based on equal opportunity, which in essence means that as we grow, everyone else grows. So the bigger that we get, the more everyone else gets paid. And I can guarantee you, if any mentor looked in on my business, they'd be like, no, they should be getting that, but they should be getting this. So, but that's why we've doubled, tripled, and quadrupled the business in 18 months. I said, we're not stopping anytime soon. And I say to people all the time, it's like, I know what my profit margin is. I know what I want to take from this business. If my team are growing and they're getting paid 3 times more than what they would do elsewhere, fucking good. They're going to stay for 10 years.
Yeah, and you're going to inspire them to work even harder as well. I'm the exact same. I'm with my team as well. I'm like, if I grow, you grow with me. It's all one. And I think that's what makes it so special, because you genuinely care and love for the people that are around you and the people that are helping you to get to where you want to be. Like, you can't just do it by yourself. And will you speak about the Propel program? What's that?
So the Propel project is the bottom of the pyramid. I tried to basically do this with CP Education, my other business, a few years ago. It was like level 2, level 3 bottom, CP Academy. Then it was like one-to-one mentoring. But I basically realized that there was too much of a confusion between education and business through kind of one brand. So I started the coach consultant, but then rather than focus on building from the bottom to the top, I just went, right, I'm just going to the top. Fuck it. It might take me quite a while, but I'm gonna learn a lot, and it's gonna be quite hard work. I'm gonna get to the top eventually. And 2 years later, we've got there now, and I'm like, sweet. So then we've got the Propel program underneath. So like the final thing for me is to like reconstruct the bottom, which is gonna be like the mass volume, like price of like 2 clients a month, quite kind of cheap compared to what other people are doing it. And basically it'll be a value asset to bring everyone together, because that's the only thing that I feel like I am missing at the moment, and that's having a community culture. I feel like we've got brand culture, and I feel like we've got the best and biggest kind of names out there, and we're growing those type of people all the time, but it's just a load of individuals. And I actually feel like that's what I feel like, because I do sit in my office a lot, and I'm working on individual stuff, but I'm just really looking forward to getting like hundreds of people into there in August, where you've got people who are doing 200 grand a month, people who are doing 2 grand a month, and you've got all these people like mingling together, and then kind of do the full circle, because I tried it before and fucking failed. That's one thing, guys. You might sometimes it just don't go right, and you've got to restart it again. But you always remember what that vision is. And like Rob always constantly refers back to the pyramid, because he knew what, like 5 years ago with CP Education, that's what I wanted to create, and that was the concept. But we're finally about to obviously just reconstruct it, but in a completely different business. And sometimes that's what you have to do, but the vision never changes. And I think that's where a lot of people like don't do. I had another call with a client who's massive the other day, like huge performance on ebook sales, high ticket one-to-one coaching team, and it was like, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. I said, right, and I said, remember that first call that we had 4 or 5 months ago? I said, what's the bottleneck? Bottleneck is the business model. I said, so what we need to do is highlight when can this product be created, then create a step-by-step process, and then we'll work towards that. Let's not fucking shit ourselves based on what we need to do tomorrow and next week. Let's just make sure that what we're doing next week is going to have a compound effect to what we're going to be doing in 6 months. And as soon as you do that and you start looking at it from a different perspective, it's different. And it took me fucking hell, it took me years to learn this. Like, Jesus Christ, I was the most reactive person you've ever met. Like, I used to walk outside, and if wind weren't right, I'd fucking put an hand through the door. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was so overreactive. Whereas, like, over the years and working with like God knows how many businesses now and different people, like I've learned to be able to take a step back and assess the situation, rather than kind of be like emotionally reactive and subjective in a situation. And that's something that I think a lot of people would benefit a lot from.
Amazing. I love that. What do you think people focus on, the, like, say for example, someone that's coming into you, like, and you say, right, this is what we could be doing, and you go through whatever the process could be, and you kind of help, they need to know the vision, but you kind of bring it to life in their head a little bit more. I always feel like even with a transformation, you can say, this is what we're going to do, timeline it out or whatever, and then you look at the end and they're like, yeah, but how am I going to get there? There's always that big gap in the middle, how? And it's like, stop worrying about the fucking how and just start, because it's the starting, and it's like, I'll have a think about it, and like, I'll just check my money, and like I'll finance it out. And it's like, these people are waiting for so many like green flags to say, I'll think, and then how am I going to get there? Will this person be able to get me there? Do you find that as well, that people just want to know how, instead of just going for it and figuring it out along the way and trusting the process?
Yeah, loads. I've had a few clients recently where they've come, like, I think when you get into like real, it's hard to explain. Like, you've got your standard online coaching, you've got like your influencer, you've got like all these different levels. Whereas what I found is when you start going up higher and higher and higher, and there's more money coming through business, there's so many fucking unique, tricky problems And at the end of the day, they've got themselves to a point where they are a high performance business. So it's not like they haven't got a clue what they're doing. They seriously know what they're doing. And they'll turn around and go, "Oh, how do I solve that?" And I'm like, I've said it a few times recently. I was like, gonna be totally honest, we have not got a fucking clue. But one thing I can promise you, I said, we'll find out. And they've still signed up and we've still found out. And I'm just very honest with that. Like, I don't believe it in selling false promises. I think that sometimes you don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to know where you're going. I had a mentor in my early 20s, very bad experience back then because I weren't in the right mindset, and two, it just weren't the right fit. But he basically turned around to me and he was like, "You need to stop calling yourself out. You need to stop saying that you're going to do all this stuff." And at that point, I'd done stuff, but I'd not really done a lot of stuff. And it was almost like back then it was like, I'm setting this challenge. Before I'd even started it, I'd isolated what my goal was. So I didn't know anything about how to get to the goal. I just said I was going to do it. And then over and over and over time, I just kept fucking doing it, kept doing it, and kept doing it. And sometimes, look, you can go through a state of paralysis by analysis, but like I'm just a proper northern straight up guy. Like if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna fucking do it. If I say I'm not, I'm not. Like
You're
it's as simple as that, literally.
are you one you're hot or cold, one way or the other. There's no in between.
Oh God.
There's no lukewarm here.
Oh my God, yeah. If you knew my mates and family listen to that, like that's literally what I'm like. Like sometimes I'm like really engaged, sometimes I'm like staring at a fly on the wall, like just completely completely not up and down. I'm not really down anymore. In my early 20s, I was very emotionally up and down, whereas now I'm quite stable up here. But I'd describe it as like 100% or nothing. If I'm interested in it, I'm interested. I remember when I finished my university degree. And I weren't interested because I were already thinking about what I was doing next. I'd finished that. I'm not bothered about that now. And it come to getting like professional pictures done with, do you know, with your little, you got your like university sign where you're like thumbs up, like, hey, I've just got a degree. Um, and I basically like Rob and everyone, like they all got these professional pictures, and I was like, I'm not asked. I just weren't bothered. So I just spent 3 years grafting my ass off to get this sport and exercise science degree, and I didn't even get a good picture afterwards because I was like thinking, well, I need to know what I'm doing with this business next because I'd already thought about the next thing. Um, but that's what I'm like, and I think when I'm into something, I'm into something. But if I'm not, I'm not, and that's why our qualification for the agency is like I have a great relationship with people on discovery calls because like if I'm like, look, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, like this doesn't really tickle my fancy. It's not something that I'm passionate about. I won't sign them up.
Yeah.
I'll direct them to someone else who I know who's got more passion than me in that area. Like, and I get it all the time. Like, what you just turning down sales, or like someone comes in and they're not the right fit with our qualification, and they won't be able to fulfill what I'd want them to do based on how many people are going to be at them. And I'll go like, look, I think that you're a great person. You're earning enough. You're doing that. But I know that if I chuck kitchen sink at this, you're not going to be able to handle it. And I've got so many like good relationships with people where I've just helped them afterwards for free and redirected them to it. And it basically just comes back around and comes back around. And that's just genuinely something that I massively believe in. Like always doing the right thing, even when fucking hell, you just want to bite the bullet sometimes where you're like I'm the type of guy where, do you know if someone's been a twat?
Yeah.
I just want to call them a twat. Like every part of me just wants to do it, but I
Right.
just don't because it's not the right thing to do.
Right. Yeah, I love that. And honesty and the transparency, I feel like gets you way further because the truth always comes out in the end, anyways. And I think that's what stands to you because saying, like, I don't take on anyone and everyone because they're not fit, but I can also give you a solution to something else. Like that honesty is quite rare because most people just want the sale and they want to make money. And I think it goes to show like that you love and you care about what you do so much. And that's why your clients and the people that join the program get the result of what they want. But when you talk about like fulfillment and happiness there, like a question for you, like what brings you the most happiness and fulfillment in your life right now? Like, is it like obviously family? Like, what is it that you feel so fulfilled by because you're talking about other people, but what about you? Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Take
you fucked me
the
there,
notepad.
aren't you? uh, um, Do you know, like, fucking hell, that's
I've thrown you under
what
the bus now.
what do I feel fulfilled about? I feel fulfilled as like a husband and a father, but this isn't a hard one to explain. This is something that I've experienced as a dad that I weren't expecting to experience as a dad, and that's rejection. Because like I knew that it was going to be. You've heard the story, guys. I don't need to sleep. I can work. I don't really get tired. I'm a bit fucking weird like that. And so handling the fatigue of a fucking baby, like I've not found challenging in any way, shape, or form. But I've found the rejection really, really, really difficult because like when you've worked your life to have your own family and you love something so more than anything you've ever loved in the world, and every single day she basically just turns around and tells me to fuck off because she wants a mum. That's literally what it's like. Like no
Connection.
matter. So it's like 4 months in now, and it's just like I might win once every 3 weeks or something. Where like because she's breastfed as well, like she's just not interested. Like as soon as she's like gone, it's pointless me even trying. I actually tried last night where Stacey went and had a nap. She was knackered, and I like entertained her downstairs, but then Stacey basically said to me, it's funny she watches this, but she turned around to me and she was like, she needs to be in bath by 7:30, but I heard in my head she needs to be in the bath by 7:30. So I was downstairs absolutely buzzing, thinking, oh my God, she's not crying on me. I've done an hour and a half on my own, like proper fucking celebrating at living room. T turns so I was purposely entertaining her and stretching her out to try and last her till 7:30. But that's when Stacey said she needed to be in bed, and I thought she said she needed to be in bath. So I'd completely fucking fatigued her to another level. She starts absolutely booting off at 7:15. I'm thinking, shit, shit, shit. So I'm running upstairs to get bath going, and then, oh, shit, I completely lost it. So I thought I were actually going to get a win last night, and I ended up went and had worst experience ever. She went mental. And
But
then
that's all
Stacey woke up to a war. And
from
I was literally, I just walked up, gave her a Remy and just walked downstairs. No, I'm sorry.
well, that's something that obviously you're learning. That's like a whole new life, a whole new
Yeah.
different side of you that obviously you're learning because this is so new to you. I'm sure I heard when you're a new parent, it's just like they say it's a totally different game. Like it's like you can't even explain it.
Yeah, it is. I think it's so different it's different for many people, but that is the only thing that I found difficult self because it's like I'm fulfilled by it and I love it, but it's also like it's part of why I feel a little bit lost at the moment because it's like because Rem is that she's got a relationship with her mum because she's inside for 9 months. She's not got that relationship with me yet, and I feel like because I'm hunting to kind of get that, and it's funny because God, I'm right side bastard. I get served these videos of dads and daughters on fucking Instagram all the time, and I just look at them going, I just want that. Like, do you know what I mean? I want her to actually turn around and like want me. That'd be nice.
That would
But
go.
but yeah, that's like I think that's gonna come and that's gonna be a massive like fulfillment factor and with other stuff, it's hard. Do you know what this is? That question. I don't know. Um, I'm passionate about my job and I love it, but I wouldn't say that I find it that challenging anymore. Because I've done it with that many different people now, and I've fucked up so many times. I've done lessons like I kind of just know what to do now. And I love like the new discovery and new clients, and I love the strategy. I love all that type of stuff. But when it comes to my own personal fulfillment, like I wouldn't say it would be work anymore. Um, I don't know what it is. This is what I'm saying. I don't know what it is. And that's what I'm kind of looking for at the moment. It's because it's like right, well, in reality, work's not going to slow down. I love my job. Right? Do I find it as fulfilling as like potentially like what other people find like you with training or whatever? I know that's like your kind of your thing. Like for me, like I'm back training again now to get ready for a beefer and I can get in shape really quickly. But then it's the same as earning loads of money. I don't give a fuck about what I look like.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, so it's like, right, well, I'm in great shape. My bank account's looking good, but I still feel shit. And that's kind of the question, and that's the process, and that's something that I really, really struggle with, like finding that fulfillment factor. I think that for me, I need extremes. so building a business is an extreme process. Scaling a business is an extreme process. Like building where I am now, like it's good, but for me, it's like I'm always thinking about what's next. And I know in September, October, I have not got a what's next. It's more people into Propel project, more people into Propel. The agency qualification is going to be even tighter, but it's still going to be the same. There's going to be no building there. And I've been banned from building anything else as well because we don't need to, because I'll just be like, oh, let's do this, let's do that.
Well, when you
But
say
yeah,
extreme there, like you talk about extreme, two questions for you. One, why does it have to be extreme? Is that to keep your mind going, to keep you feel like you're accomplishing something? And number two, challenging. Like you say, like that parts of your job at the minute aren't challenging. Why do they have to be if you're a master at what you do?
I know, but that's the thing is, I don't see myself as a master as what I do. I don't value myself as a master. Like I always, if you go back to a master means that's an end point, whereas I don't like seeing end points. I like the process.
Yeah.
So I think it's a combination of a lot when it comes to what were it? Not challenging. What did you say before that? Extreme.
Yeah.
I think the extreme aspect comes from the ADHD and ASD complex, ABC, you fucking name it, alphabet, I've got it. So like for me, like, and it's almost like I need to, I have to really, really feel to feel emotions. So like when I love, like when I fight, when I'm angry, I'm angry. And it's quite an extreme process. And I think when you've done 30 years of I had a conversation with this the other day, actually. I can't remember what it was, but I basically said, when you've experienced emotion in so many different points to the level I have in my life, like your barrier to feeling it is a lot less. So, for example, like now when people like look the Propel project when that launches, it's going to be fucking sick. It's going to be massive. I've never hit anything as hard as what I'm about to do with that community course, but I won't feel anything afterwards because I've already experienced that emotion, because I've already done it with agency, I've already done it with Propel program, I've already done that with having a big amount of money coming in and success. I've already done that. So it's like, for me, like when you've had 1,000, because this is a post I did years ago, because someone turned around to me and this is before I actually had the diagnosis, and I tried to talk about my how my head works on social media. I ended up deleting all the posts because I was that embarrassed about it. But I put a video up and it was just like, because yeah, someone asked me on a Q&A on my story, because everyone knew that I worked really hard. And at that point, I basically said, my head is like 1,000 wasps in a jar. So I said, if you put 1,000 wasps in a jar, I said, whereas if that jar gets too hot, all those wasps start fucking attacking each other. If that jar gets shaken a little bit, those jars start all try and come out through the fucking top, right? Whereas with me, it's like that jar is on a fucking Ferrari going around a racetrack. It's never fucking still. And that's what my head's felt like for years. It's just like this almost like chaos theory that I've had to organize and process, and that's why I feel like stuff needs to be extreme, because my thought processes on a day-to-day basis are so extreme. While I've done it before, like well, mates have they sat there and they're like, do you know at last minute, Ben? I've not really all I've thought about is this and that. What have you thought about? And I was like, you don't want to fucking know.
Don't even ask.
I said, don't even ask, mate. Like, but everyone they always take piss out of me about it all the time. Like, I'll go on a walk with Rob, and I'll be looking at something, and I'll like sometimes it's quite overwhelming to almost process and just stop. And I'll just be looking at like dog lead like this, and Rob will he'll just stop and he'll just watch me for like 2 minutes. And I have to turn around to him and go, fuck's it, how long have I stood there for? And he
You're
was just like,
processing.
yeah, just because I'm just like that. So that's why when I'm at work, I'm at my best, because I've got headphones on, noise cancellation, and there's always a stimulus. So like I really struggle. Like if you turn around to me like, Ben, go and sit on that desk over there for the next 12 hours, that you might as well slap me in prison. Because I'd end up putting myself in prison if someone made me sit in the same spot for 12 hours.
Right, okay. So work certain ways, your routine, the way you work. It's nearly like a superpower, the ADHD in a way. And then obviously sometimes it's nearly too much. That's where the extreme side of things come from. Like when you're saying there about you were kind of felt embarrassed and like about the posts that you put up, what were them posts that you put up that you felt like, oh my God, I'm deleting them?
I basically spoke about I can't remember, was someone in my community or someone it was quite a focal thing where people were talking about suicide. Short story short, for about 5 years, I thought about suicide every single day for like 30 times a day. I counted like it was an obsession. I wasn't suicidal in any way, shape, or form. Like I have been at some points in my life, way many years before that. But out of nowhere, I kind of attached to this concept of suicide, and basically for 5 years straight, I would making a cup of tea and it'd be like kill yourself. Like you're driving a car, kill yourself. Like it was like that every single day. And I think that were in my from 21 to like 26. That's when I was drinking, I was taking a lot of drugs out like at weekends, not during the week. And I was going to party and I was just doing some very stupid shit basically. And I think the only reason that I was doing that is because when I come to a Friday, when I was at work, it were better because I was busy, but I'd come to a Friday and I'd basically walk. I can remember fucking vision it now. I used to walk into the house on a Friday and everything had come in on me. Like the ceiling, the doors, the walls. I'd walk through the door and everything just go and it'd close in on me like this and just trap me and it'd just go suicide, like hammering it. So straight away I was like, I need to escape this right now. So like drinking, bang, drinking. Next thing you know, I'm going out or I'm sitting in a house fucking doing drugs on my own. Like that's what it was like for five. Like I'm not over exaggerating either. That was like fucking back to back for 5 years straight. And it was like it was 2 years into being with Stacey. I was like, I need to fucking sort this out. Like I can't live my life like this.
Yeah. What was the flick?
Basically, what was the what, sorry?
Or what was like the flick of the switch? Like what was it that made you go, that's enough now? Because obviously anyone listening, they could be going through the same thing and saying, fuck that, I'm in the same position. But how do you actually flick that switch?
It was the extreme of if I didn't sort it out, I'm gonna lose Stacey. So it was basically like I experienced love to an extreme, but
Mhm.
how my head was working was completely contradicting that feeling. And I didn't want to lose that feeling because it's a feeling that I've been looking for a very long time where not push someone away. And I was like, if I do not address this and I don't get it sorted, then I'm gonna fucking lose everything. So I had like a professional hypnosis with it. Still didn't really sort it. It was I don't TMP addressed it heavily, but a lot of that was more performance anxiety.
Mhm.
I feel like for me, that mindset went away when we moved into our current house that we're in now. Because I felt like I had a home, and that's something that I've been looking for, like just the feeling of having my own home. And I feel like when we got that house and we got settled, like it was like shackles. It was like I started to be myself. I started to be the person that I could be for other people. Because I'm like when I might turn around now and I always talk about this concept of do it right, like and do it right and be a good person. I was not a fucking good person. Like I was not a good person in any way, shape, or form in my teens and my early 20s. I was a proper twat to myself and a lot of people.
Yeah.
So it's just like, do you know what I mean? I'm nothing special in any way, shape, or form. Like I'm just basically an accumulation of all the stupid shit that I've done. That's literally how I would describe it,
So nearly
including business.
everything that happened, like literally to you, was because of what happened nearly back a couple of years ago and where you are now. And maybe that's why you fixate on having everything so like perfect. And maybe for yourself, maybe that's why you're at that point of like, I'm turning 30, I have everything that I never thought I could. But what about me?
Yeah, I think that's it, and that's what me and Stacey had a massive conversation about. I was just like, I said, I've done everything for everyone else now, Stacey. I said, like, everyone gets paid stupid money. Like, you're retired. Like, in reality, you're not going back to work. She'll like laughing. I was like, but you're not, are you? You're retired. Like, Remy's set for life. Like, I've helped people, I've done the experiences, I've took my mates on the dream holidays, I've done all this shit, and I was just like, but I still don't feel like I've done anything for me yet. And I've never, and I think that was kind of a breakthrough moment before, because I'd never ever allow myself to even think like that, because I felt like I didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's not a case of I'm like fucking it's not gonna be like, oh look at my new Gucci belt, like fuck off, I'm not bothered about that. But it's a case of like, what am I actually doing for me as part of all this? Because
Yeah.
otherwise it's, I just think it's just highlighting an issue. I feel like if I do 5 years of just giving as much as I possibly can all the time, but not having anything for myself, I might start to not resent, but not have gratitude for what I have now, and that's what concerns me. So I don't know what it is, to be fair. I'm figuring it out. I'm sure I'll be letting you know as soon as I have figured it out. I'll send, once I've written this letter, I'll potentially have the answers. But I think it's just going to be a case of like what type of stuff that we are doing as a family, what type of goals I'm setting myself with like experiences, what type of goals I'm setting myself with like fitness. Do you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
just not, couldn't care less about how I look. So it's just a case of, might do a Mark Rhodes and just run 250k through fucking Amazon jungle or something.
Through the desert or something like that.
Okay.
But like,
I had a chat with him this, I had a chat with him this morning. It's like, yeah, you could do it. And I said, yeah, but mate, I'm so unfit. And he was like, no, you just need to be tapped. I mean, what is that? I mean, what the fuck does that mean? Like on call this morning. I said, just got to be tapped. I said, you just got to have that like 2 pence missing because that's all you need to do. I said, all right, sound mate, cheers.
do you know what? I was just thinking there, as you're kind of talking through all of that, like sometimes we're looking, well, I was for a long time, like looking for the answers all the time outside of me. Like I was always looking for like, right, if I tick that off, that's it. But then I was always like, there's still something that's not fucking clicking right now. But then I actually realized that the answers that I'm actually looking for was inside me. So like we're
Yeah,
actually programmed to look outside all the time for the money, for the business, for the house, for all of that. But when you take it off, then you're like, yeah, but it was meant to be this and now it's not. So what the fuck is it? Like, why do I feel like this? And it's always inside. So I think that list as well, I don't know if you have those questions, but I think that list might be really helpful for people that are kind of feeling a little bit stuck as well. I could put it even in the description below, not with your answers, but with the
yeah,
question
nobody needs to see that.
to be able to see. But I think this insight into like being so honest with your journey and showing people that, you know what, like as much as the podcast is about growth and entrepreneurs and people that are living the dream that maybe you want to live, that it's not all sometimes the pitch perfect of what you see, and that we struggle as well as these high performers, that it's not all, it's never just all there, that it's a continuous process. And I think that's the most exciting part, that you love, not every day, but like you do love your life, that it's like I can always improve on certain areas of it as you go,
No, definitely, I agree, mate.
you know. So to finish out like the podcast, I always ask two questions, but I'm gonna ask you one today, right?
Go
You're like, what's the question? Um, if you could go back and change one thing, what would you change? And I'm talking since you were born and up until the age of like 21. So you can't go past that. And
Okay.
talk about business. So it can't be between the years of 21 to 28. What would you change if you could between the minute you were born to the age of 21? What would you go back? If you had the choice to press something and restart it, what would you change?
Is this something that's in my control?
No.
Like, it's just no, but as in like it's something that I've done or someone else has done or something that's happened, because it's like I can't change that something that's happened. I would say it would be to have, and back then it weren't really as common as what it is now, but I wish I'd not buried my emotions at 15. I wish that I'd addressed them, and I wish that I'd spoke about them, because I went through the compound effect. I basically buried shit for 6 years, and then it all fucking erupted in different ways down the line. And I think if I'd had addressed how I felt at 16, 17 years old, a lot of the stupid shit that I did in my 20s wouldn't have been a thing. And that's why I'm so like big on like people just really kind of addressing things there head on and almost kind of, again, just doing the right thing. That is it. It's hard to explain this, but that's the exact same thing as what I try and bang on about in business, where I'm saying, stop just trying to go for that cheap, quick bullshit. Because if you come in and you do the offers, the cold DMs, the fucking all that stuff, said, how long is it going to be until that's going to erupt back in your face? Like everyone just wants to. It's like, for me, all I wanted in that moment when I was a kid were just to not think, not feel, fight or flight straight away. Bang, right. I'm not in a good spot. Bang, I'm just not going to think about it. Whereas if I'd addressed that problem head on, I'd have felt so much better for those years after that in my early 20s. It's like, it's exactly the same in business. You might not be getting leads right now, right? But figure out why you're not getting leads. Because I'm fucking guarantee you, it's not because you're smashing bare cold DMs and running shitloads of offers. It's the exact same context. Like, address the situation head on. Is it your personal brand? Is it your reputation? Is it your content strategy? Is it your application process? Is it all these different avenues? Rather than just going, right, fight or flight, all in, and then fuck yourself up, just like I did.
Okay, well, that's very honest. So thank you for sharing that. And you know what? I think the post that you put up this morning, if anyone hasn't seen it, it was just about like your journey, and we're both 29 now and turning 30. Like, do you notice that your posts, when you talk about yourself and not business as much, you get a lot more engagement from it?
I get loads more engagement from that, but I would not.
Yeah.
No, it's funny. It's like
You.
everyone loves that, but everyone loves it. But do you know how much anxiety I had? I sat looking at my phone for 20 minutes before I even dared post that this morning, even though it's not bad anyway. But it's just how I feel, and I think that's something that I struggle with. Is that I really struggle to articulate myself on social media, because the people that know me in person and my clients and my community, they know exactly who I am and what I'm about. So when I say something, they just know. Whereas like with me, I second guess, thinking, well, if I say that or I do this, that person won't understand. And so I just hide me for when it comes to socials, and I just go, I just start doing the coach consultant, boring business bullshit that no one cares about. Like, that's why I've got no followers.
But you know what?
Um,
That's why I think as well, like from an outsider's perspective and from what I'm looking at, like I absolutely love seeing the real you coming through and in posts like that. Like that made me read it. And normally I'll be honest, if there's a post of like the mentor stuff, I just fucking scroll past because I'm like, no, I'm not reading that right now. But the minute I seen that, like I read every single word of it. And you know why I did?
yeah,
Because it's you and it's who you are,
yeah.
it's your journey. And I think like you're saying that you were a little bit stuck on social media on your private story, but like imagine if you just showcased yourself as vulnerable as it's going to be, as hard as it's going to be. If you just showcase you and who you are a little bit more, I can guarantee you people will connect so much more, because I straight away connected to that post. You're getting uncomfortable on the chair, but that's literally it. Because like the business stuff and all, yeah, of course we have to post like the strategy or whatever it is, but when people get to know you a little bit more, because from the outside, I actually have written down here, never judge a book by its cover. Because when we met at the TMP event, I got to know you, your story a little bit more, and it really gave me a totally different perspective as you as a person. But I would love for people to see that on your socials that little bit more, because that's who you are.
Yeah, I get that all the time. Sean Casey was just like,
It is.
straight, but I remember he sat next to me and he was just like, fucking hell, I was dreading your talk. I thought you was going to stand up and talk about like business. And then when I spoke about what I did, they were like, what the fuck? And I
Yeah.
think, but he said, yeah, but I don't know. I'm
You
figuring it out. I'm figuring it out. I'll see.
journal on that and write that down on that list, because I can guarantee you everyone would be so inspired to know and see the true side of you and who you are with your personality, because like you're an amazing person, everything you've done, but let people in a little bit more and let them know how you got there and who you are.
I will do. Sorry,
It's
Mom.
so so thank you so much though for coming on. And I know I'll leave your handle for Instagram and everything below. But guys, I hope that you've taken so many pointers from this as well. Please share, tag us if you are listening, if you're watching on YouTube. And as always, you can always pop myself or Ben a message on Instagram. We'll get back at any time. But thanks for taking the time to come onto the podcast. And guys, I'll see you on the next one.
Thank you very much, guys.